Yeah, yes. I can see the screen, right? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can able to see the screen, sir.
Okay. So I think some of the theory part already I have already explained you. So as I told you that module programming means as we have studied the subroutine and the normal function model. There the how you used to write the subroutine form and from that same way this module program you begin with the module and add module. Okay. I think this portion already I covered in the last few classes, right?
Yes, sir.
So, okay. So let me start once again. What is the transaction code for that module pool program?
Transaction code.
SCIT.
CIT. So, what is module pool program? Basically, um, every program or the block of program, block of coding, you will write in.
So we can able to see the PPT, not what you're writing.
You cannot see the
Can able to see the PPT, but what you're writing in the notepad we can't able to see.
now you can see the screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will write the block of coding every inside a module and a and module. So this is normally that's why you called as a module. Normally in subroutine, how you should write? It's a form
Form end form.
subroutine. Okay. And then end. But here we have to write the module and module. All the coding you have to write module and module. That's why it's called the module pool programming. What is the basic concept in this? So module pool programming is collection of screen. You have a screen. So like any other screen, like if you go to VA01 or purchase order ME21 and or any other transaction code, you will find that there will be number of screens and there will be number of field, will be radio button. All this functionality will be there. If you want to design the same kind of screen, your custom program, let's say some of the programs that is not there in the standard SAP. Okay. So what the SAP has given a provision that you can create your own custom screen and you can write your own coding and you can achieve the functionality. Okay. So for all such kind of thing, all such kind of functionality or requirement, you can go for a module pool programming. Okay. So module pool programming basically collections of screens, flow logics, menu, bus, and above code. So all these four things will combiningly will form the module pool program. So what are the components? The first thing will be definitely screen will be there. Okay. Then you have a above code. Writing above code, you cannot manipulate them. Okay. The third one, you have a menu bus. Okay. Fourth, I think another component is also there. Another component is flow logic. Flow logic means different event will be there. Okay. So part of this flow logic, different event will be there. So I think you remember that last few sessions I have given the brief idea about session, the events of the model tool. So like in normal classical report or interactive or any sort of LV report, you have events, right? Multiple events are those.
Yes, sir.
In the model pool also you have 4 events. Okay. So combining all these components will have to the combining all these components are there in the model pool program. So as I told, as Dipti told that what is the transaction code? SC80 will be the transaction code for the module programming. Okay. We can create any sort of module program in SCAT. So SCAT also will be useful for any another kind of functional, right? Creating. Last time we used where, for which activity we have used for creating the function group, right? Yes.
Yes, sir. For creating function group, we have used
Function group we
SCAT.
have created SCAT, right? So same way, the module program also you can create in a SCAT. Okay. Now, if so here, this is a module pool programming also called dialog programming. Dialog means a screen. Okay. So whenever if you want to create any custom screen, or then you should go for a module pool programming. Okay. Now a user dialog is any form of interaction between the user and program. So basically, when there will be a program and there is a user. Okay. So if you want such kind of interaction, then you will go for a module pool programming. So what are the things are there? First thing is entering the data. You need to enter the what user need. User need to enter the data inside the different field will be there. There may be a radio button, or maybe a checkboxes, or maybe input field. So user will enter the data, and then they may choose a menu item, or click on a particular button, or double click on a particular entry also. Okay. So for all such kind of activity, you need a module pool programming. Okay. So it is also used when we need to navigate. So normally, if you see any report program will not be that much flexible in moving the navigate between the back and forth. Whereas the module build programming is giving more flexibility in terms of moving the screens. Like you can have a multiple screen, you can move forward direction. Okay, let's say there is sales order, there will be a initial, there will be a quotation, then sales order, then will be delivery, then will be billing. So then you can come back to the billing, then delivery, then you can sales order to quotation. Like this back and forth movement you can do with the custom screens. Okay, with the module pool programming. And then just remember that since module pool is basically a screen oriented functionality, we cannot run them in a background. Okay, so whenever it's come to the background, we do not consider module pool to be executed in the background, because that's meant for only foreground. User need to interact with that particular screen. Okay, got it. Then dialog programming skills are useful for developing bolt-on functionality for the performing enhancement standard RY3 applications. As you know that there are when you talk about the enhancement part, there are multiple enhancement techniques SAP has been given, SAP has provided. So out of that, screen enhancement is one of them. Okay, and that screen enhancement you can do by using this dialog programming. Got it? Suppose there is let's say I am talking about a sales order. Okay. Now, what are the tables of sales order? Yes, Dipti?
VBAP, VBAK.
VBAP and VBA. Let's say some of the fields like I want to give a employee detail. Okay. And that employee detail is not there in the sales order level. So what I will do, I will create a screen, I will do a screen enhancement. So I will give an input field so that user can give some, enter some value. And once they will click on save button, it should go and save in the backend data. So kind of, whenever if you want to modify or do a screen enhancement to the standard functionality or standard transaction code, then you need to go to the module pool programming. Okay. So just remember that normally you have a executable program, you have include programs, right? And you have a different types of programs of that. So similar way, you have a module pool program, which type will be type M. They cannot be executed M. And just remember that for any kind of module pool programming, you cannot run them independently. So what do we need to do for that? Yes, we need to create a.
We need to add. We need to create main program. In that, we need to add it.
No, that will be fine. But like any report program, you can run from a SC30 transaction code. But module pool programming, you need to run by using a transaction code. Okay. Yes. So what are the main things? Module pool program cannot be executed. The first thing is module pool programs are type M. Second one cannot be executed in background mode. Third is cannot be independent. It is need transaction code. Okay, need transaction. Got it. So same way you cannot run them independently. So now let's talk about some of these other criteria. So why do we need a modular program? So most business applications nowadays require a manual input of data that must be available at a point of time. Okay. Now, if you want some kind of editable kind of thing, and that information need to be stored in the backend, then for such kind of interface, you have to go for a model 2 programming. Okay, but so interface between system and the user should be comfortable and friendly as possible. Such kind of activity you must go for model program. The next thing is, so since as we are discussing so model programs cannot be run independently. We have to have a transaction code. Okay. So where you can create a transaction code? Yes. Shiva, where you can create a transaction code? What is the T code?
SC91.
SC?
91.
No. SC91 is for?
SC93.
Yeah, SC93 is for custom transaction code creation. SC91
Yes.
is for? Yes.
Message create.
Yeah, SC91 is for the message class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Transaction define program name and a initial screen. So why do we need a transaction for this model program? Because see, if I'll talk about the model programming, so let's go to the paint. Let's say this is so in the model program I have multiple screens. This is screen 100. This will be screen 200, and this will be screen 300. Okay. Now what will happen now? So this screen 100 will be calling to screen 200, and screen 200 will be calling 300. Okay. Now who will be calling this this initial screen? So for that you need a transaction code. Okay. For that you need a transaction code. Here it will be the T code. So T code will be calling you the 100. This 100 screen 100 will be called by a transaction code. Okay. And screen 200 will be called by a 100 screen, then 300 will be called by a screen 200. Okay. So this will like a chain will be there in a model programming. So for that reason we need a transaction code. So transaction code is the initial page, okay, initial screen. So that's what it's telling. That a transaction defines program name and initial screen of calling dialog program. Okay. Now there is a brief comparison between a report and dialog program. So if you tell that why do we need a dialog program, we can achieve through a report program. No, report is basically for reading the data. Okay. So data is there in the database, we have to fetch and display in the report part. Okay. But if you talk, and then you need to analyze that what sort of data, whether this is sales data or that may be a purchase data, okay, or that may be a that may be any sort of data which is related to business. Okay. So in report, basically we are extracting the data from a database. Okay. But and then we need to analyze it. Okay. Then we need to analyze it. So we will not do any sort of modification. Okay. Now, if you talk about a hello.
Answer.
Okay, so if you talk about dialog programming, either you can read the information as well as you can write the information in the database. So this two activity, read and write activity will be done simultaneously. Okay, got it. So that's why it is called a basically it's called an interactive kind of activity. So whereas dialog programs are much more flexible in compared to the report programs. Okay. Yes, got the idea? Yes.
Sir, write in the sense what, sir?
Right, in the sense you can edit the information. So let's go to second screen. So see here. Now what I'm doing. Now this is my screen. Okay. Now let's see here. So I'm giving the information. Okay. Once I enter it, automatically all the blank data will be coming into that particular screen. So here it is displaying only. So at the same time, suppose I want to modify this information. Once I click on save, automatically this information go updated in the database. Got it? Yes.
Okay, if you want to edit the data, we can able to edit the data.
Yes.
But in
we can
report
able
program, we can't able to edit the data.
No, sorry, come again, Dipti.
But in report program, we can't able to edit the
No,
data. Just
we can
whatever it is there, we
edit,
are
but
just
that kind of will be that not that much flexible. Okay. So there we cannot edit multiple screens, right? Here I can see here. Go to this page. I will just let me go to this diagram. Now I can edit 100 screen, and same way I can edit this information 200 screens, 300. For such kind of flexibility you cannot get in report program. Report program will give you only one view, that is the LB view. Okay, just a LB view.
yeah.
Okay, LB view. Whatever you wanted to do within this only. Okay, got it. And some structural changes will be there, means it will have an impact. Okay, the data will not be saved properly. Got it.
Yeah.
But where the module pool program will give you that more flexibility in terms of editing the data, both read and writing, both kind of functionality you can achieve by this module pool programming. Okay.
Okay.
Report also you can do. You that I'm not talking about that you cannot do. You can do, but whenever comes about the, let's say your particular transaction code is containing 10 screens. Okay. Such kind of complexity you cannot handle in the report program, right?
Yeah.
So for such kind of activity, you have to go for a module pool programming. So module pool program will give you more flexibility in terms of interaction, kind of both way, like read and write, both way interaction you can do in the module pool. Now, what is the transaction, the component dialog program? So first will be a transaction code. So as I told that the module pool program cannot be run independently. Like if you, let's say if you create any AC30 program, any report program, you can execute over there. But if you talk about a module program, you cannot run independently module program. For that, you need to have a transaction code. Okay. Got it? And then you have a screen. Screen, what do you mean screen? Each dialog program consists of one or many screens. They are called either by a transaction code outside the program, or using a call screen transaction, you can call a particular program. Okay. Then these are some points like dynamic programs with their own data object called screen fields. So these screen fields, everything output, input field appear. This will be discussion when you discuss, when you do one demo of module pool programming. Okay. Then screen consists of screen mask layout. So this will be, I will show you in the program level. Once I start doing demo, that time I will figure you out what are this. Okay. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now next thing is, so now we just studied two components. First is screen, another transaction code. Third component is GUI status. This is very, very important. Like any SAP application, if you go, there is a standard menu bar, then toolbar, application tool, and function key. Why you need a function key? Basically, let's say for executing a report, you can directly click on execute button and you can click on F8. Okay. So if you want to link a particular shortcut key with the particular button, then you can do through a function key setting. Okay. And then, so this is all this like any other standard program. If you see standard transaction code, in that also you have all these components, GUI status, right? So if you are creating a custom transaction code or custom dialog program, for that also you need to give a GUI status. Okay, you have to give a menu bar, then standard toolbar, and then application toolbar. So all this will be consist with this custom transaction code. Then third one is ABAP program. So this is very essential to manipulate those components. Like if you create a GUI status, suppose if you want that some data information has to be saved in backend, once you click on a save button, so that code has to be written behind that save button. Then only you can able to save the data. Okay, got it? So all the code you need to write in the backend for a particular model pool program. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Got it. What are the components are there in this?
Sir, your voice is little breaking.
Now can you hear me? Hello.
I can hear, but in middle, like some words are breaking.
What's sir? Voice. Oh, okay. Now you can hear me clearly, right?
Yeah.
So now can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So what are the components of model pool? The first component will be your definitely a transaction code is needed for that, because model pool program you cannot run independent. Second one is you will need to have a screen. Third one is you have a GUI status. So what is this GUI status is? You have a in GUI status you have a application menu bar. Okay. Then you have a standard toolbar. Okay. Then this is the application bar. Okay. Then fourth you have a some key setting. Okay. Some key setting. Then fourth part is very essential, that is ABAP code. Okay. So in every model pool program you have to have this four component. The next thing is, so as I showed in the diagram that this is the general structure of a dialog program. So each dialog program will be consist of multiple screens. These screens basically will be calling in a sequence way, like one screen will be calling the another screen. And initially to trigger the calling, we need to attach a particular screen with a transaction code. So let's say a particular transaction code is calling 100 screen, that 100 can be called to 200 and 300. So how they will be calling, once you click on any button or any next button or something like that, then it will be calling to the next screen. Okay. Now each screen will be having a different module, right? So this module basically will be helpful to write the ABAP code in backend. Now there will be radio button and checkboxes. Okay. Now once you check a checkbox or select a radio button, something has to be written behind those elements so that it will work, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So sir, all this coding you have to write in the module section. Okay. That's why it is called a module pool program, because everything the block of code you have to write in the module and module. So here is that. So what is my module? So each module will be like each screen will be basically will be having 4 events. So default events are PB and PIA, and apart from this PB and PIA, you have other 2 events. Yes, have you remember those 2 events? Extra 2 events. Generally, a module will be having 4 events. So what are those events? If you remember, I think I have just taught you last class. If you remember,
Process after input, process before output.
yeah, process before output. Then
Process after input.
another 2 events are there. What are those?
Process and value request.
Okay.
And help request.
Yeah, process on value request and help request. So basically, these 4 events are main event. Means when you talk about module program, these 4 events are there. Like in another classical reporter, like any other interactive report, you have multiple events are there, but here in model pool, measure you have 4 events only. Within by using those 4 events, you can write your own code. So similarly, PBO and PU has modules that events are not meant default event. If you want to use some kind of like F4 help and F1 help, then you go for such event. But in general, these 2 events will be useful. That is PBO and PIA. So each screen, suppose I have a 3 screens, 100, 200, 300. So for each of the screens, I have a 2 different events will be there. Okay, like PBO, PIA, and PBO, PIA. So in this way, it will be so. We have to write the logic under this event only. Okay. How will you write? How will you write this? You have to take a module, right? So if you double click on that module, it will be creating a module and module. In that section, you will write the code. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So these are the 4 events like process before output. So when this event get triggered, this event triggered before the module pool. So this event triggered before the model pool screen is displayed. So like all the modification like screen, so you can do dynamic screen modification also. In normal report program, we have done that, right? So what is the event you are using in there? Hello. Suppose I want to click on checkboxes. On click of that checkbox, I want to hide some elements. How you can do that in report part? Yes, Shiva.
On value request?
Yeah. So no, that's okay, but no, not on value request. The event is there, right? In the report part. What is that event?
In report, you're
Okay.
asking, sir.
To get, sir, repeat question once again, sir.
No, I'm asking about in report programming. Once you click on a checkbox, if I want to do hide unhide functionality, in which event I will write the code and what I will write the code. What is the event? Yes.
Value request, sir.
Sorry?
At value request.
No, not value request. Another event also there. At selection screen. Yes. At selection screen output, right?
Selection screen out.
So same way, if you want to do any sort of, so what you need to do, you need to use the screen structure, right? You need to loop the screen, you can modify, okay. Using that, you can manipulate, you can just manipulate, you can modify the screen dynamically. So same way, if you want to modify the screen dynamically, you need to write the code in the PBO event, okay. Now for any kind of user interaction, like click on a button, check the radio button, if you want to do certain activity, then you should write the code in PIE event, that's process after input, okay. And POB will be the process on value page. This event triggered when a user click on a search help or a help button. Okay. This event we do not use frequently since it is there in the SAP. So we also cover this one. So that is when a user click on a search help or a F1 button, then this event get triggered. That is POH. Okay. So this is all about your event. So let us write the events also. First one is you have a review, that is process report. is all about the event. Then let's move to the next thing. So like any other report program, we have a different modelization techniques are there, right? So what are the modelization techniques are there in the normal classical report? Yes, anybody? We have discussed in the report part. What are the modelization technique exist in the report part? Yes, Shiva?
Modernization techniques.
Different modelization technique we have already used in the report, right?
Sir.
What are those modelization techniques? Like you have used subroutines, right?
Top of page, those things.
No, you have used, no, we have used
Subroutines,
different,
function modules.
yeah, function
Is that
modules, then includes subroutines, macros are there, right? Four types of
yeah, macros.
modelization techniques are there. So
Four types of
model program also we have different blocks are there. Like there will be a top include and then will be your PBO event model where all PBO related event logic you need to put it in the one include, and the next one is your PIA event. So all the logic what are related to PIA event will be placed in the third include, that is model include. Then so basically the different model will be created for a particular program. Okay, similar way you can use also subroutines in this model programming. So that kind of logic you need to write in the last include. Okay, got it. So here basically the modular program divided into four parts. The top include where you need to write the all the data declaration. That may be internal table or a work area or maybe a variable, global variable or a flag kind of thing. You can take it. And the next one is your PBO include where you need to put all the PBO related logic. Okay. So why do you need a modelization technique any of the programming? Why you need this modelization? Yes, Dipti?
To
Make
get
our
the
code in a very
codes
systematic
like,
manner, right?
yeah,
To make our code in a very systematic or in a readable format, right? Where
yeah,
anybody can understand where that particular logic, where is the data declaration part is there, or where you can have a PBO related logic, or where we have PI related logics. Okay. For that reason, we have a different sort of modelization techniques. Now, next thing is let us discuss more about the screen part. Okay. So generally, as I discussed that modelable programming have different components. Like what are the components? The first thing you have a transaction code. Next thing you have a screens. So as everybody know that transaction normally we can create in C93, but more let us discuss about screens, because since this is a dialog programming, we need to know more about the screen. So screen part basically consists of different components. So first will be attributes, properties of the screen. So what attribute describes? It describes the properties of screen. Okay. And then second one, I have element list. So like different UI libraries element will be there. There will be a radio button. There will be a check boxes. There will be a box also there. Okay. And there will be a table control will be there. Like if you want to display any sort of item data like multiple information, like in tabular format, like you have worked on LV reports, right? So how the LV reports is showing multiple records. Same way in a modelable programming, you can take LV as well as you can take a table control. But I think that whenever you are working on a modelable programming, better to take a table control. Okay, because table control will give you page up, page down. You can scroll it. It will give you the scroll bar also. Okay, so all different functionality you can get in the table control. Now next thing is flow logic. What do you mean is flow logic? Because flow logic where the event will be written. So like all the PV and PI event will be there, and based on your requirement, you can write the logic in your particular PBO and PI event. Okay. Suppose if you want to do a screen modification, then better to go write a logic in the PBO event. If you want to do some kind of user interaction, let's say on click of a checkbox or radio button, you want to do some activity, or if you click on a button, you need to save that particular information. So that kind of logic you need to write in a PIA event. Okay. And the layout, that fourth part layout will give you the screen designing idea. Like what do you mean the screen designing idea? So let me go to the line. Is any idea? Let's say I want to have this is my header information. So I want to have it. I want to display sales or details. Now